What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters, and welcome to Life to Metal. Time for a rock and metal vinyl update. This is going to be mostly all new releases from 2018, but I do have one in here that's a reissue that I was going to show first, just to get that kind of out of the way. Not that it's a bad album; it's actually a great album. This is a Primitive Rhythm Machine. This is based from the Australian record company Soundmass, and this would have been the Mortification's 5th album, I believe. And it was definitely a change in sound. As you might guess from the name, Primitive Rhythm Machine, it's a much more primitive sound. You kind of can get a Sepultura vibe going on with parts of it. It's got that kind of tribal thing going on with the beats and whatnot. This was recorded in the USA. I think it was the only Mortification album recorded in the USA. Produced by George Ochoa of Recon and Deliverance fame. I really like this album. I know a lot of people didn't. It's not death metal, more along the lines of thrash and groove metal, but like I said, it's still a very good album in my opinion. I always liked the cover artwork by Troy Dunmire. And this is the first time it's been available on vinyl, so I believe Boone's Overstock, Rocks Productions both have copies in stock if you're looking for a copy of this on vinyl. I know the first 4 albums that went on vinyl, they disappeared quickly, so I don't know why these ones are still around. Probably because this is not as popular of an album, but matter of fact, I like this album so much. When Ultimatum did our Lex Metalis record, one of the songs we chose to record was off here called Gut Wrench. And one of the highest compliments I ever received is actually from Steve Rowe Mortification, who upon hearing the song said, "Wow, I like your version better than ours." So, I mean, what better compliment can you get than for the artist to say that, you know? Anyhow, very good album, available now, 2018 reissue. Didn't even know anything about this one until I walked into a record store in California, and this is the new single from Ace Frehley off his up-and-coming album. But Bronx Boy is the name of the new single, and that's what this is a 4-song single, EP, whatever you want to call it. Brand new song called Bronx Boy, which sounds exactly like what you would expect from Ace Frehley, you know, just that raw, raunchy rock and roll, heavy guitar tones, you know, exactly what you want from Ace. Ace's Can't Sing, Don't Care style vocals, just a very good song. I'm looking forward to hearing the whole album. There's also a remix of Reckless, which I believe is from the Space Invader album, and a cover of Cream's White Room, and then a cover of Kiss's Cold Gin with special guest Mike McCready. Which all those songs have been released before, so they're all just re-releases. But still very cool to find this. And apparently they're numbered. I don't know how many there were. I read online it was 5,000. Who knows? But this is 3,810 of 5,000. You can see it as like a gold. It's right there. The gold stamp of the number. So that was cool to find out in the record store. It was actually 2 copies there. And Bill Baffert and I went in and looked at him, and he ended up picking up both and handed me one. So awesome. Gotta love friends who appreciate music as much as you, right? This is one I kind of delayed on a little bit, and it's a very good album, and I'm not sure exactly why I delayed on it. This is by the former members of Black Trip, who are right here. I love the 2 Black Trip albums. They kind of had this Iron Maiden meets Thin Lizzy vibe that I just found very compelling, with a unique vocal style. But this is VoJD, which I believe is pronounced Void, the Outer Ocean. And apparently a couple members left the band, and they decided to change their name to this VoJD or Void. And the sound changed a little bit. It could have been the follow-up to their last album. It just has that same vibe going on, and I like it as much as I like those 2 albums. Maybe a little more on the hard rock as opposed to the metal side, but who cares? I mean, I love both, you know, hard rock and metal. Frankly, in the 70s, they were one and the same, so definitely it has a 70s vibe. You still hear the Iron Maiden and the Thin Lizzy dual guitar things going on. And it has the same vocalist, so it's got that same kind of unique sound to it. I can't remember the vocalist's name, but this actually, I believe this came out in like January 2018, or maybe even December 2017. I'm pretty sure it was 2018 when this came out. But Void, the Outer Ocean, very good. You know, new wave of traditional heavy metal with a heavy Thin Lizzy / Iron Maiden vibe going on to it. This is another one I delayed on, not for any other reason than it was expensive, but this is Riot V, and this is Armor of Light, double album, fantastic. I like, you know, this new Riot stuff, Riot V, continuing on the legacy of U.S. Power metal. This is exactly what you're going to get here. You know, every song is just as Well Done is the next. There's a couple bonus tracks on the vinyl. There's new recording of Thundersteel and Unbelief, and their new, newly recorded versions of those two songs. But yeah, this very, very solid power metal. If you like, that power metal era of Riot, chances are you're gonna probably like this. It's easily as good as their last album. It's Riot, I know some people don't consider it Riot because, frankly, there's no original members left in the band. But it's the members of Riot who are still around when Mock Reality passed away, continuing the legacy of the band and keeping the music alive. And frankly, I appreciate it and enjoy it. So, the mighty Tior, or Johnny right here on the cover, continues the legacy as well. I showed this one in a video before, but I'm going to show it again because this is a brand new album from Bride, and people keep asking me, is it really any good? I guess a lot of people didn't care for the direction Bride went in after Snakes in the Playground back in the early 90s, and they did. They kind of went into different sounds. They went into alternative, and they tried rap metal and groove metal and all kinds of different stuff that, frankly, I didn't care for as much either. Snakes in the Playground was probably one of my last, one of the last albums from them that I just absolutely was floored by. And I do like some of the other material as well. But Snake Eyes is a definite follow-up to Snakes in the Playground. It continues in that same style, it's got that same riffing style. The heavy guitar tones, Dale's screaming vocals, solid heavy hooks. If you like Snakes in the Playground, if you like stuff like Aerosmith at their heaviest and Guns N' Roses at their heaviest, chances are you're probably going to dig this Bride album. It's just very, very well done. Had a friend of mine buy it, actually Rob Whitlock from Ultimatum picked it up, and he's not a huge fan of Bride either, but he picked it up just to support the label, and he told me just the other day, he said, I can't get this thing out of my CD player, it's so well done. He goes, the songs are just so well written, and the guitar solos are great, and the guitar work is great. And so there you go, it's in someone else's opinion besides mine, and very good album from Bride, Snake Eyes. That is a Retroactive Records release. And no, I did not do the graphics on that album. People have asked me, just because it's on Retroactive and I do most of their graphics, this particular album I did not do. So I submitted a design for the cover, and several people submitted ideas for the cover, and this is the one that was chosen, which was not mine. So there you go. So I'm just not pimping my own stuff like some people seem to think. Alright, this one's a bit shocking to me. I've had this one for a couple months now. And first listen, I was kind of like, whoa, what happened? It took me a few spins to really begin to digest this album and appreciate it for what it is. But this is Lizzie Borden, The Midnight Things. This is Lizzie Borden going more theatrical, almost Alice Cooperish. The metal is not as out front. I've heard people call it more of a pop metal sound, and okay, I don't really get that. It's not like some Poison wannabe kind of stuff. No, it sounds like Lizzie Borden, but it doesn't have the same edge. It's a little more on the lines of theatrical and a little more progressive and just as creepy as always. So, but yeah, I do enjoy this album. It did take me one or two spins, so you can't just throw it on and you're not going to hear Red Rum right away. But it's still a great album from Lizzie Borden. Their best, I don't know. Again, I've only heard it a few times. I begin to appreciate it more, but I'm not going to say it's their best album ever. It's just a good album from them. If you're a fan of Lizzie Borden, I can't imagine that you wouldn't enjoy this album at least a little bit. So this is actually olive black marbled vinyl, and you can see it's 144 of 300 of that color vinyl. I'm sure there's more than 300 of these pressed. Just 300 pressed of the of that particular color. Here's the lyric insert. More pictures of Lizzie. If you ever get a chance to catch Lizzie live, man, the guy is just fantastic live. Saw him on a tour opening up for Wasp, and as much as I love Wasp and I had seen Wasp before, Lizzie took the show that night. He was just so fantastic. I mean, they're both kind of a shock rock kind of thing going on, and Wasp used to have more of the shock thing going on, but Lizzie still has the shock thing going on. Wasp has Blackie riding his gigantic metal Harley mic stand, but Lizzie was doing all kinds of craziness on stage. I mean, I just can't even tell you all the things. Somewhere in the Alice Cooper meets old school Wasp vein when you come to see their show. So anyhow, moving on. Went into Target stores. You know, it's just a chain outlet. If you're from another country, you don't know what Target is. They're just everywhere. They're like Walmarts or Kmart's or any other big chain stores. And like a lot of the other big chain stores, their CD sections have all but vanished. But Target still does have a music section, and they began carrying vinyl. So I picked up the new Jimi Hendrix, new release from Jimi Hendrix's family. Obviously, Jimi Hendrix is not recording new music. This is Both Sides of the Sky. Wasn't necessarily going to pick this one up because, frankly, they're just bleeding the well dry. But I still enjoy it. It's still Hendrix, and they had this there for I think it was $21.99, and then I had a discount code. On top of that, they have like this red card you can use when you buy stuff, and it gives you an additional 5% off. So, you know what? Just to support vinyl and from a chain store, I went ahead and grabbed the Jimi Hendrix album. And I like the cover. Very nice, very cool painting of Jimmy. Very nice picture. It's a gatefold. Lots of cool photos of him on the inside. Black vinyl. Not sure what the pressing was on this, but these are numbered copies. My number is 254. Here is the center spread. Came with a really nice 12 by 12 booklet. Very nicely printed, offset printing. They didn't spare expenses on this. They did it right, so you can't complain about that. Lots of photos of band members, those who actually recorded. Some of the stuff was Hendrix Experience stuff. Some of it was afterwards. It's a you know, odds and sods kind of compilation of material from Hendrix, but like I said, it's Hendrix. I enjoyed it. It was worth picking up. So the last two are from the same band. I pre-ordered these because frankly I knew they were going to be expensive, and I wanted to get the best price I could from Amazon. And Amazon Prime has that thing where if you order a new album, the price drops at any point. That lowest price is what you get it for. So I ended up getting these for a decent price. But this is Overkill Live Overhausen. And this is the Horoscope Volume 1 and Feel the Fire Volume 2. So what we have here is 4 records, 2 gatefold albums with the entire albums recorded live. Just front to back. I mean, the entire album's recorded live. And frankly, I think the sound here on this one here, which is Feel the Fire, is probably better than the original. Just full of energy. You know, it's got that live feel to it. I don't know how doctored it is in the studio, but it doesn't matter because it just captures that energy. It has that raw sound. I don't know, it's just better sounding, you know, recording wise than the original album was. But yeah, great songs. You know, this is a classic album from Overkill. Raise the Dead, Rotten to the Core. There's No Tomorrow, Second Son, Hammerhead, which is one of the best Overkill songs ever. Feel the Fire, Blood and Iron, Kill a Command, Overkill, and Fuck You. So there you go. And then there is, this one has Coma, Infectious, Blood Money, Thanks for Nothing, Bare Bones, Horoscope, New Machine, Frankenstein. They do the cover of the classic from Edgar Winter live here. Live Young, Die Free, Nice Day, For a Funeral, and Solitude. Great albums. Like I said, gatefolds. I believe they're both on colored vinyl. This is orange with green splatter, and this is green with orange splatter. So I'm just an Overkill fanatic, you know. Overkill, a lot of the thrash bands, Anthrax, Testament, those bands, you know, they could put out an album of fart noises and I'd probably buy it, frankly. So, but I will call a spade, and if I don't like something, I'll let you know. But I really enjoy live albums to begin with, but I think these live albums are very well recorded. The band was obviously very well rehearsed and tight, and everybody sounds great. Bobby Blitz, you know, as punky and as ever, you know, with his New Jersey accent and his New York slang. So anyhow, great albums from Overkill. So that's it for this edition. I do have several more. I've had several requests to show off collections. I'm trying to think. I'm probably going to do Gravedigger next. It'll be the next collection video I do. Because I finally got the missing piece from the collection. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the Gravedigger collection. And rather than showing that in a new release, I'll just show it as part of the Gravedigger collection. That's it. Appreciate y'all watching once again. God bless. Stay strong.